Hey guys, welcome back to my brand new video. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you all history. So today I'm going to use total history and civics class 10 ICSE of Morningstar. I'm using the latest syllabus. Okay. So 2024. This is actually this video was supposed to come yesterday night, but actually there was some problem with the process, so I had to move it on to today. So I guess you will receive, I'm not sure guys, you may receive two videos today. So yeah, maybe there's one more chapter I can do today of history or any other subject. So I'll try guys, I'll try my best. So I'll see you in the next video with the third chapter. So in this video, we're gonna be doing chapter 2. So let's scroll down. So guys, growth of nationalism, chapter 2. This is a fun chapter, which is same like chapter 1 almost. So first thing is Indian National Congress was brought up in or established in the year 1885, which marked the formal beginning of the organized national movement in India. Factors leading to the growth of nationalism. Before knowing the factors, we have to know what is nationalism. What is nationalism? Nationalism refers to the feeling of oneness and common consciousness that emerges when people living in common territory share the same historical, political, and cultural background, having the same have the same cultural values and consider themselves as one nation. Important. Now, guys, factors. The first thing is economic exploitation. So, what was this like economic exploitation? The Indians realized that the general aim of the British policies in India was to promote their own interests at the cost of welfare of Indians. The economic discontent of the different sections of the society was as follows. The peasants, the artisans, the educated Indians, and the working class is in the top. So the peasants, they were the main victims of the British colonial policies. The government took away a large part of their produce in the form of land revenue and other taxes. These exorbitant taxes led to the peasants into the clutches of the landlords and money lenders, the artisans and craftsmen. The British economic policies were against the interests of the Indian trade and industry. The East India Company used its political power to destroy Indian handcrafts and industry. India became a source of raw materials for the industries of Britain and a market for its finished products. This policy crippled the artisans and the craftsmen as they were devoid of their sources of livelihood. The working class. The growth of modern industries led to the birth of the new social class in India, the working class. They were exploited by the factory owners who were generally Englishmen. Although they formed a small section of the population, they represented a new social outlook. Their outlook and interests were broad, covering whole of India. Though their factories were located in the cities, all these factors made their political thinking far more significant than their numerical strength. The educated Indians. The only employment available to the educated Indians was government service, in which competition was high and chances of promotion were bleak. They had hoped that British capitalism would help to develop India's productive forces as it had done for Britain. Instead, they found that the British policies were keeping India economically backward. Thus, all sections of the society felt that their economic salvation lay in the freeing themselves from the British rule. To achieve this objective, all the Indians had to come together on the national platform. In this process, the spirit of nationalism received a powerful stimulus. Represent repressive colonial policies by Lord Lytton, Viceroy of India from 1876 to 1880. Lord Lytton organized Grand Delhi Darbar in 1877 to proclaim Queen Victoria as the Empress of India. Lakhs of rupees were spent on the event, but nothing was done for the Indians who were in the grip of the famine. Lord Lytton introduced the Vernacular Press Act in 1878 and Indian Arms Act in also 1878. So what is this act? The Vernacular Press Act forbade vernacular papers to publish any material that might incite feeling of dissatisfaction against the British government. This act was not applicable to the English newspapers. In 1882, this act was repealed by Lord Ripon. So you have to remember who introduced it and who repealed it. Then Indian Arms Act of 1878 made it a criminal offense for Indians to carry arms without license. This act was not applicable to the British. The maximum age limit for the Indian civil service examination was reduced from 21 to 19 years of age, thus making it difficult for the Indians to compete for it. Import duties on the British textiles were removed. It proved harmful for Indian industries. C.P. Ilbert, the law member of the Viceroy's Council, prepared a bill, popularly known as Ilbert Bill, in 1883. This bill provided for the trial of British or European persons by Indians. By this act, the British and Indian judges in India, this was represented by the British, and they started a defense association to defend their special privileges. Now, socio-religious reform movements. These movements of the 19th century were pioneers of Indian nationalism, the impact of the Western education which led to the rational, humanitarian, and scientific approach to life made educated Indians realize that they need to reform their religion and society. The result was the birth of socio-religious reform movements touching almost every segment of the Indian society. In the social sphere, these movements worked for abolition of caste system, child marriage, dowry system, purda system, sati, infanticide. They launched a crusade against social and legal inequalities. In the religious sphere, these reform movements combated religious superstitions, attacked idolatry, polytheism, and hereditary priesthood. These movements fought for individual liberty and social equality. Raja Ram Mohan Roy created the Brahmo Samaj. Swami Dayanand Saraswati created Arya Samaj. Swami Vivekanand created Ramakrishna Mission. And Jyoti Phule created the Satya Shodhak Samaj. Now we're going to know the Raja Ram Mohan Roy contribution to India. So he was a reformer of 19th century. He wanted to do away with the religious and social evils which were prevalent in Bengal at that time. He was deeply moved by the deep love for his people and country and worked hard throughout his life for their religious, social, intellectual, political regeneration. His approach of religion, great humanist, and who stressed on the unity of all religions. As a young man, he studied Sanskrit and Hindu philosophy, the Quran, as well as Persian and Arabic literature. He made an intensive study of the Western thought and culture. To study the Bible in the original, he learned Greek and Hebrew. In 1809, he wrote a in Persian gift to monotheists, in which he put forward his views against beliefs in many gods and for the worship of a single god. He strongly held the view that all the principal ancient texts of the Hindus preached monotheism, worship of one god. The meaning of this. In 1814, he started Atya Sabha and carried on a persistent struggle against worship of idols and meaningless religious rituals. In 1828, he founded the Brahmo Samaj, which was later renamed Brahmo Samaj. Okay, before it was Brahmo Sabha. So the Brahmo Samaj believed in monotheism or worship of one god. So it condemned idol worship and laid emphasis on prayers, meditation, charity, morality, strengthening the bonds of unity between men of all religions and creeds. So his social reforms was that he started campaign for abolition of sati and purda system, condemned polygamy, discouraged child marriages, and advocated the right of widows to remarry. It was because the efforts made Raja Ram Mohan Roy the William Bentinck, the Governor General of India, passed a law in 1829 making the practice of sati illegal and publishment by law in 1829. So it shows that he was also a period of Indian journalism, and so can read that, and political rights of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So this can all be asked in points or maybe like separately in sections, subdivisions in your exam. So now Jyoti Phule. So he was an urban educated member of the so-called low caste. His education and personal experiences had made him critical and of Hindu religion and customs. He also worked for upliftment of the women. Jyoti Phule worked for the upliftment of women. He considered women superior to the men and maintained their status of supremacy. He wanted to provide education to the women in 1851. Jyoti Phule, along with his wife Savita Phule, started one of the first girls' school in Pune. In 1854, he established school for untouchables and started a private orphanage for the widows. He pioneered the widow remarriage movement in Maharashtra and worked for the education of the women. Now, caste system, caste structure. He considered the caste structure prevalent in India as the epitome of slavery, his famous book, Gulamgiri. He described the hardship, the distress felt by the lower castes. Social justice of the lower castes, he founded the Satya Shodhak Samaj in 1873 with the aims of securing social justice for his weaker sections of society. Now we have role of the press. We just have to remember the newspapers which were used as for press in those 19th century. Amrit Bazar Patrika, the Bengali, the Tribune, the Pinya, the Times of India, TOI, the Hindu, the Statesman in English. Yeah. Then we have about the National Congress, the precursors of the Indian National Congress. So the first thing we have to remember is just the founder and some of the deep instructions, which is on the next page, page number 31. So the Indian National Congress was formed by A.O. Hume, right? So he was a retired British member of the Indian Civil Service. He wanted to set up an organization that would draw the government's attention to the administrative backwards and suggest means to rectify them. Now, in 1884, A.O. Hume, in consultation with the Indian leaders, laid the foundation of the Indian National Union also. The conference of the representative of the different parts of India was convened by the Union at Pune on December 25, 1885. Plague broke out in Pune at the point of the time. So the meeting of the Union was held at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, Mumbai from December 28 to 31, 1885 under the presidency of the Umesh Chandra Banerjee. He was attended by 72 delegates. Delegates means candidates, educated Indians, also known as. So, on the suggestion of the Dalai Banerjee, the name of the union was changed to the Indian National Congress, which was before Indian National Union, which was formed by A.O. Hume in 1884. Thus, the foundation of the Indian National Congress was laid in December 28, 1885. Okay, 1885. So, now, the Viceroy, Lord Dufferin, favored the formation of the Congress because he wanted it to act as a safety valve. Safety valve for the popular discontent, thereby safeguarding the British interest in. Now, the aims of the Indian National Congress to promote friendly relationship between the nationalist political workers from different parts of the country, to develop and consolidate the feelings of the national unity irrespective of caste, religion, and province, to formulate the popular demands and present them before the government, to train and organize public opinion in the country. So the sessions of the Congress, the first session of the Congress was under the presidency of the W.C. Banerjee, also known as Umesh Chandra Banerjee, by 72 delegates, means candidates, also known as educated Indians from all parts of the India, including such eminent persons as Dada Banerjee, K.T. Telang, Firoza Mehta, and Badruddin Tyabji. And we have GB Subramania Iyer, Andhra Charlu, NG Chandarvakar, and Justice Ranade. Justice Ranade. And then we have the table important resolutions at sessions of the Congress. So session 23rd, Surat, in the year 1907, split between the two wings. 26, Kolkata. 1911, the national anthem Jana Gana Mana was sung for the first time in 1911 in Kolkata. 26th, 31st, 1916 at Lucknow, joint session with the Muslim League and signing of the Lucknow Pact was done. In 39th, 1924 in Belgium, Mahatma Gandhi presided over this session. Then we have the 44th Lahore session of 1929, declaration of Purna Swaraj and launch civil disobedient movement. We're going to learn this in further chapters. I think it's going to be fourth or fourth or fifth chapter about all about Mahatma Gandhi's contribution and some of the we have a lot of things like what do you say? Of course, Purna Swaraj. We have Simon Commission. We have Chauri Chara. We have a lot more things. And the last thing, 51st Haripura session was in the year 1938. Subhash Chandra Bose was elected as the president. And here we are done with our chapter number 2. It was all about the important points which you have to remember and study for your exams. And I hope you guys understood it. And if yes, so you can hit a like if you want, subscribe clearly. And so yeah, I'll meet you in the next video with the third chapter or maybe with any other subject. So, but this is going through the playlist. You can watch my playlist, which will be shown in the first part of on the top right, the I button. So you can check it out. And yeah, I'll meet you in the next guys in the next video. Till then, take care everyone. Stay safe. Peace out.